Good day. This is educational video on LED strip lights provided by Jerick Holdings. This video is for buyers, CEOs, guys who needs to buy a large amount of lights for the company on the end of the day. So this education video is quite important for the couple of notes what we're going to do. Firstly, we're going to talk about LED strips. LED strip is a very important part of the tube light on the end of the day. When you do buy this tube lights and strips, to make sure on the end of the day is when you buy a strip or a LED tube light, take one light completely apart before you buy a bunch, hundreds, 200, thousands on the end of the day. Take the whole light apart. Make sure that the LED diode is not mounted on a carbon fiber strip. As soon as it's mounted on a carbon fiber strip, then the first thing it will tell you on the end of the day is how do you transfer the heat of the diodes to the back and to the body of the LED tube. You can bend it, it doesn't break, but on the end of the day, that is not the purpose of the tube light or the strip. The purpose is to transfer heat from the front to the back to the body. So that's very important to make sure that it's not mounted on a carbon fiber strip. You will get the thicker strip. You will actually get also the thin strip on the end of the day. So this is actually no good. So that is something you try to avoid at all times. To buy a light like this, it's much cheaper. It makes on a day, maybe it makes sense on your financial budget, but it's an investment that you will throw down the drain on the end of the day. So avoid buying any LED tube lights with a carbon fiber strip in the inside. And also, when you go outside and need to buy lights, do not purchase a light what is mounted in a glass tube. Glass is not a heat dissipation material. You will only work with aluminium. That is the base what you need to get your heat transferred from the diodes through the strip to the tube. Avoid buying anything in glass. And also, if you buy it in glass, if it drops, your investment is down the drain. So you try to avoid buying strips what is mounted on a piece of glass. What you also will find is that they will take a plastic tube. The aluminium strip will squeeze into the into the plastic tube. So plastic is also not a heat dissipation. So you also try to avoid on the end of the day to buy a LED tube made out of plastic, and it will also build up a small memory, and sooner or later it will actually fall right out of the fitting. So that's also something what you guys would like to avoid on the end of the day. Then you will find that they actually take a small piece of aluminium. They will squeeze it inside the body. This is absolutely going in the right direction, but still there is not enough aluminium to cool down the diodes in the plastic tube. So this is a step in the right direction, but it's also something which you would like to avoid on the end of the day. Then also what you have to look for on strips is that there is no joints. Because if there's a joint on the end of the day in your strip, the possibility that the solder can crack and you will lose part of the light, or you will lose half of the light. So that's also something that you will try to avoid on the end of the day, is to buy a LED strip what is actually soldered together in the middle. When we get into the LED strip and the LED tube light, is when you buy a light, the only thing what you have to do is just tap on it. When you tap on it, and it sounds like a huge vibration, so immediately it tells you that there is no heat paste between the strip and the aluminium tube. That's very important. So because at this moment in time the diodes are burning at a certain temperature. Normally it will, I did calculate it in the past, it should be burning at around about 66 degrees, what is quite hot for a diode. So sometimes they will tell you, listen, you've got a 50,000 hour chip, you've got a 50,000 hour driver, but I will get to that on the end of the day to tell you guys what kind of questions you need to ask for a client or when you want to purchase on drivers and hours. But so when you tap on it, there's no heat paste because the heat paste and the strip joins the two parts together and the heat is transferred back to the body. So when the light is actually burning for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, if you actually take the body, you will feel the body is actually quite cold. For the simple reason is because the diodes can't transfer the heat properly back to the body, and that's why you need that heat paste. So make sure when you tap a light, it's no go, because your investment will go down the drain. And also what you need to make sure on the end of the day is when you buy a LED strip, is that the space between the LEDs is quite important as well, because sometimes to make the light cheaper, they will space it a little bit further apart, and on the end of the day you will get little dark spots between the strips, and that's why you are paying for what you are paying for on the end of the day. When you buy this LED tube lights, you will find out that the tube lights, it's quite thin. You can see it's like 1 mil thick. So you also like to try to avoid it. You can actually squeeze the tube. You can see how thin the tube is. You can squeeze it. So this is the right direction, but it's not enough aluminium on the end of the day to give the light what you purchase a 50,000 hour life. Because when the light is burning and you don't take the heat away from the diode, your 50,000 hour light should actually will become a 30,000 hour light, because you don't give the light the right environment to live out the life what the light should actually give you on the end of the day. So also try to avoid that thin tubes, and in the second video I will explain to you what type of tube to buy and why Jerrick Holdings is such a great tube. Quickly I want to go back to the drivers. Now the driver is a very important situation. The driver, if you buy a good driver, it should give you a power factor of about 9.5. Power factors are very good, because if your power factor is around about 5, 6, it means that the driver needs to work so much harder on the end of the day to provide the strip with efficient light on the end of the day. So try to make sure that the power factor is about 9.6, 9.7. So the closer it gets to 0.10, that's where you actually want to be. And make sure when you buy the drivers, take it apart, see if there's a surge protector, a lighting protector, and good capacitors, and all of those little things what you don't know about, and to make sure that the light what you purchase for the company will actually handle all the fluctuations of power coming through, and can take the stress on and off when the power goes out, when the generator kicks in. So you will see they're actually putting the little drivers inside the end cap. So it's very important to make sure that you buy a good driver. This is actually scary what is on there on the drivers, and we will also get to on standards, what you need to know, how your driver needs to be protected. So when the light gets transport in shipping or installation, the guys are sometimes quite rough, that the aluminium strip and the body doesn't touch with the right protection inside the driver, so the person doesn't have a shock on the end of the day. So before you go out and buy 10,000 or 5,000 lights, purchase one light, take it apart, understand what you are buying, that you have the right investment on the end of the day for the company or for yourself. So thank you very much for listening to the video. There will be following up videos regarding what to look for purchasing a good LED tube light. So thank you very much and bye.